everyone, and welcome to our very first Oomfs minisode. This is going to be a slightly shorter episode than usual. We asked on Twitter about everybody's introduction to BTS and what sort of really drew you to them, what's your first experience, and we got so many amazing, wonderful responses from so many amazing, wonderful people, and we thought we'd do a little minisode and just read some of these stories. They're all anonymized. Some of you may recognize yourselves, but we're going to chat through some of them. And as usual, I'm B.
Hi, I'm Mimi.
Hi, I'm Jess.
Hello, it's Jen here, speaking to you from the future. I'm recording this part on my own, so if I sound awkward, that will be why.
We're going to start off with one that Mimi will read.
This is sent in by a very, very lovely, sweet user who will remain unnamed, who says that they got into BTS watching a flash mob video on YouTube. They came across a K-pop in public dance cover challenge by Dazzling, and they covered the dance Boy With Love. It was in early 2019. So she said that she thought it was awesome and she had to find the original song. And when she did find it, she remembered thinking that the Boy With Love music video was just very colourful and engaging and fun. And she thought that Jimin and Jin were way too beautiful to be members. And then she said that Jimin became her bias, and obviously she loves Jin with all her heart. And then she was captivated by Jungkook's bright eyes, which I don't blame you. And then she remembers thinking that she would probably like Yoongi and Tae more, as they seem to be the more unusual / interesting members. But obviously this was before she knew anything really about any of the members or even their names. She watched quite a few videos after that, most of them being the music videos. And then of course, because this is YouTube, she also watched a lot of reaction videos and a couple of introduction to BTS videos to learn their names. She goes, at that point, she was already in quite down bad, but she was in denial about it. But then she said she didn't really fall down into the rabbit hole until about a month or so later, because she was teaching children who were about 17 or 18, mostly from an East Asian and Southeast Asian background. And she was teaching them a unit on mental health, and remembered seeing something back in YouTube about how BTS members wrote about mental health in their songs. So then she started to do a bit more research to see if she could integrate that into the lesson. Next thing she knows, she's printing out Augustine's The Last lyrics and analysing them with the class. Also, I want to be a part of this class. That sounds really fun.
That's
so
so
cool teacher. That's a cool teacher.
Come be my teacher. Come be my teacher.
Right. And she was like, even one Korean student that she had was like, oh, even I didn't know that this is what this song was about. And then later on, she then integrated Namjoon's UN speech, of course, represent President Jun. She basically integrated that into a course on UN and international politics. And basically, she was able to use BTS in class discussions about mental health and social norms. Yeah, so I kind of want to be her student now. So I can
Same.
Yeah, same.
analyze BTS lyrics.
That's so cool.
That's great. Yeah, I love how she's incorporated their mental health message into her teaching to students. That's really, really nice. Oh, what a great story. Good starting point.
It's a very good starting point. Also, how fun is it that Boy With Love was their first one? Like, that's such a fun introduction to be.
It's such a fun comeback.
It
I
was
love
such
that
a
song.
happy time.
The outfits, everything was pink. It was just so fun. Loved it.
It was.
After me, it was going to be Jess.
Okay, so this person said that they found BTS through a Steve Aoki playlist in September 2017. They're a big fan of him, and so they had that playlist on shuffle, and it seems that the Mic Drop remix had just come out at that time. So that obviously was played on the playlist. They don't remember if they'd heard of BTS before this remix, but that the song had stuck with them, and immediately they went to check out the MV, and they thought that the MV was really cool. And then in terms of what BTS means to them, they said, I know that everyone will say this, but they really have taught me how to love myself. I moved to London right around the time that I discovered them. And even though I'd grown up there, all my friends had moved away. So they felt really lonely. But they managed to find some London armies. And now those people are their best friends. BTS has really helped them to love themselves and all of their complexity and uniqueness. They're so unapologetically themselves as well, a BTS. And that's inspired this person to be the same way, and that basically BTS has taught them how to love themselves and help them find their way through a very lonely time, which is very sweet. They
That's so
definitely do,
nice.
yeah.
I just saw the DM of the person whose submission you read out, Jess. It's so cute because they ended it with, "You can share this if you want, but OMG, I'm so sorry for the essay."
I know.
What I
so
find really
sweet.
endearing, right, is that almost all of the messages we got end with a message like that, where they're like, "Oh my god, I've just written an absolute essay. I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "No, please tell us more. We really want to hear from you. This is so cute. Like, send us more."
Sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna go with mine now, which is, this one's quite emotional. Like, this one really, really hit me. So this person is a November 2020 army. They stumbled across them through a reaction video on YouTube. What followed was a 3-week or so period where they completely blacked out in a haze of BTS content and woke up on the other side an army. It's very relatable. Just
Yes.
Mood.
painfully
Yep.
relatable. Yeah, they said, like a lot of people, I was having a really hard time in 2020. For them personally, they work in COVID vaccine research. Wow, that's so
Wow.
cool.
Oh,
Wow,
gosh,
that's amazing.
wow. Yeah.
Wow, what an amazing job. Like, I don't have much else to say except wow about that.
Yeah.
What else
Like,
can we say? Thank you. as
Yeah,
well.
like, thank you
Yeah.
for developing vaccines that have saved
Yes.
millions of lives.
Yeah, gosh, yeah.
But yeah, they said at that time the stress was killing me. They were really exhausted, and all their normal ways of dealing with that weren't accessible to them because of lockdown, which I think is also very relatable for a lot of people. That sounds really hard. But they say what they most remember from their baby army days is a feeling of relief that BTS have come to mean more to them since, but that is the initial feeling that they associate with BTS. They were people they could turn to when they needed help dealing with how relentlessly awful the world was in 2020. They said they would listen to their music on their breaks, and that would be how they got through their day. They said they'll never forget that feeling, and their greatest, most unrealistic wish is to be able to say thank you to BTS for that in person. Oh,
Oh,
That's so cute.
Oh, no.
oh, that's so cute.
that's lovely.
Oh,
such a
that's
nice
so
message.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
They also said, this is really cute, "I really enjoy the podcast. You nice, keep going."
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
That's
Oh,
you guys are
we
so
love you,
cute.
anonymous army who contributed that. That is just so, oh my god, wow. That's like, BTS means so much to so many people. Like, it's their music and their presence just really gets people through hard times. And like they say, BTS comes to you when you need them most.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that's
Like
true.
Yoongi said, the day you first found BTS is the day we debuted for you. I always remember that quote.
Oh,
So cute.
oh. Emo hours are open.
He knows exactly what to say. He's so good. They're all so good. They are the goodest boys.
They really are.
They're just good boys.
And yeah, now over to Jen for our next one.
The first time I heard BTS was around 2015, 2016, I think. I remember one of my classmates trying to learn the choreography, I think to Dope. Then the same year, I remember watching their Blood, Sweat and Tears video and loving the lyrics and the performance. But then that classmate moved away, and later I moved to another city, so that was it really. I hadn't looked them up or seen them until November 2020. At that time, I was grieving the loss of a family member due to COVID, and it was my first semester at university, so it's easy to say I was feeling really overwhelmed. So overwhelmed, in fact, that I was feeling a bit numb, just going through the motions. Then one day, when I was taking a break from studying, I came across the Cardboard Karaoke video, and I just kind of fell in love. They were funny, and I loved the songs that they played. Also, I was drooling a little bit over Jimin. I decided to search them up and watch their latest music video, which at the time was Life Goes On. I just sobbed listening to it and reading the lyrics. They captured what I was feeling so perfectly, and I felt so comforted as well. From there, I just spent around 3 hours watching their videos. From interviews and music videos to those funny edits where I was laughing and smiling for the first time in a long time. After those 3 hours, I felt like a weight had been lifted off of my shoulders. The equivalent of taking your first breath after being underwater for so long. They just gave me so much strength at a time when I really needed it. And most importantly, they gave me hope when I didn't have any. I think they make the hard times bearable and happy times even happier. I found a community, army, that is loving and supportive. It's just so fun being able to get excited and share our love for these amazing people together. It's just so incredibly fun being their fan. I've made friends due to BTS and grown closer to people that were already in my life that were ARMY themselves. I'm so, so grateful to BTS, and I'm so glad I found them.
All right, and now we come to another submission. This one comes from a very lovely moot who I do know, who says, "Hi there, I tried not to monologue as much as I usually do when I'm asked this question." So apparently this is really cute. When I read this, it really made me laugh. But they said they had the words, "Did you see my bag?" looping in their head one day. So when they got home, they looked it up on YouTube, and that led them to Mic Drop.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after listening to Mic Drop, they went on to watching Singularity, and then Blood, Sweat and Tears, and then Carpool Karaoke. And then 6 hours later, they sort of was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a thing now. And then basically, then they said what BTS mean to them. Could be a long monologue, but the short form is that they are comfort and community. And then this is the really cute part. They added this in brackets. They said, "Shout out to the hosts. So grateful the Tannies have led me to you." I was like,
Oh, no.
That's so cute. Oh, that's adorable. We love you, Anonymous Moot.
Yes,
we love you,
we
Anonymous
do.
Moo.
We're glad that the Tannies have led us to you as well.
Yes. Yes, the feeling is mutual.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
So cute.
Oh, these messages are so nice.
They're so nice. I deliberately didn't read any before the episode so that I'd be like blind reacting to them all.
Same. I just skimmed a couple, but I didn't read them fully.
But also, I just love that their introduction was because they had a random phrase stuck in their head.
Yeah, I want to know, where did they hear that? Like, where did they get that from?
I feel like I do occasionally hear BTS songs like in shops. Like,
yeah,
even before they got really big, you'd occasionally hear their songs in shops, probably in Army on the Staff.
Probably.
Yeah.
Army everywhere.
Absolutely.
Also, it's really funny that they went from Mic Drop to Singularity, like that they're on opposite ends.
Yeah, that is a mood switch.
Real musical whiplash right there.
Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we'll go on to Jess.
Okay, yeah, so this person hasn't really gone into the depths of how they discovered BTS, but what BTS means to them. So they've said that they found BTS via a YouTube algorithm, which I think is very common. But in terms of what BTS means to them, they said that it's an escape, music and wider work that creates a safe space to feel all the joy, fun, anger and sadness. They taught me earnest expression isn't a weakness to be quashed. They provide me with so much enjoyment and fun. I love getting to be part of their journey and seeing what they do next. I hope it involves beards. If you know who that person is, then that will make more sense.
Absolutely. Also, like, the listeners should know, this is my Twitter wife. It's such a mood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Oh, you should have read this one.
It's all right. I had more fun reacting to it, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course
I
she
love
ended
that.
it with the beards.
Of course she did.
course.
Of course she
It's
did.
just-
Beard tan Sonia and Dan.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
don't give her ideas. She will do it. Don't do that, B.
I love that though. That's so nice.
No,
And that mood
that's
is
really
so
nice. Yeah.
yeah, this Moot is such a lovely person as well. Like I said, she's my
Yeah.
Twitter wife, so I'm a bit biased, but
yeah.
she's
Well-
just so lovely.
Nah,
We love you,
absolutely.
but possibly bearded Twitter moods.
Yes, we
Mimi's
do.
wife. Let's just call her Mimi's
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Mimi's wife. Yes, keep up the good work of all that you do. Okay, is it your turn now, B?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I've got one. This is actually from someone that I'm friends with, one of my moots, this is interesting. This is somebody who actually isn't an ARMY, but is like familiar with BTS. So they're calling this, how did you find BTS and what do they mean to you? Non-ARMY edition, LOL. Which I quite like. So they said, I started following K-pop closely at the start of 2020, not any particular group, just all comebacks in general, mostly girl groups. Obviously, they were made aware of BTS, but their releases never really stuck with them. By the time their Tiny Desk concert came around, end of 2020-ish, when was that? End of 2020, start of 2021?
I feel like it was in the autumn of like 2020, so it was after Dynamite.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and they said I knew all their names just by passive media consumption, really, which is really fascinating that someone who doesn't even stand them knows so much about
Their
them.
names. Yeah.
That's impressive.
So they said for them, they're an anomaly in K-pop. Their super fame is like a strange phenomenon that they try and study from afar. They said they've kept tabs on their releases and they're a big fan of their little animals. I think they mean BT21.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's how I'm
Oh my
going to
God,
refer
that's
to
so
BT21 from
Yeah.
now on. Now,
I'm
the
a big
little
fan
animals.
of their little animals. God, that's adorable.
Oh.
And they put in brackets in
Bless.
capital letters, they put mainly Chimmy.
Oh, that's cute.
I know this person and I know that they happen to own quite a lot of Chimmy related merch because they love Chimmy so much.
Oh,
Oh,
They said, I do not dislike them, but I am not thrilled by them. They said they think it is important to observe what they do because it is simply so strange in the realm of K-pop, navigating this space that is neither here, Western pop, nor their K-pop. And they say they wish them success as they navigate it. Yeah, but it's really interesting hearing from somebody who doesn't really stand them, but has paid attention to them and has their own reasons for not necessarily being super interested in them. But
yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, interesting that they don't really like vibe with them musically, but they still kind of are fascinated and almost kind of admiring their journey and following it despite not liking the music so much. Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
And also
Very
the fact
interesting.
that they know their names.
Yeah.
There's 7
that's-
of them, right? To know
It's
all of their
so-
names just
Yeah.
via passive media consumption.
I feel like if you are involved in pop music at all, you'll be aware of BTS, and if you're involved in K-pop, you kind of just learn their names by osmosis, because
Guess,
there's
yeah.
just so much content about them, and I don't know, they're all, each member is so individually famous by name,
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
having a group, like, although they're very promoted as OC7, like everyone knows their names. Yeah, that's fascinating.
That is
Yeah, I mean, because
fascinating.
there are some K-pop groups that have like famous members. Like you might not be a fan of Stray Kids, but you probably know who Felix is. And
Yeah.
TXT, you probably still know who Yeonjun is. But the fact that she knows
Yeah.
all 7 members, which is not easy to learn when you're not a fan, is
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Because I was saying, most of my K-pop consumption or like Korean music consumption is BTS, and I can count on one hand how many groups I know all the members' names of just via passive consumption.
Yeah,
and it's
definitely.
only one. It's Shiny. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only other group I know all the names of. Right?
They are slightly easier because they only have 5 members.
Wait, no, TXT as well. But like,
TXT
I listen
as well,
to TXT music, so
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah.
it takes, if it's a group that I'm listening to their music, it takes me a while to learn all their names. So that's really interesting. Yeah.
Same.
But yeah, over to Jen for another one of our lovely stories.
This one touched me. The others are really nice too, but this one, there was just something about it. I found them first in 2015, listening to HYYH while driving across the country for a new job. I'd just left academia, teaching, and I had plans of moving to Seoul. I loved the album, but I wasn't yet ready to commit to a reminder of what I was leaving behind. By 2017, I was settled in a new job, but still wondering about paths not taken, when I tuned into the AMA just to see them perform DNA. Then, I was ready, and hello, familiar rabbit hole. The longer version of this story is that over the next couple of months, and really ever since, BTS has helped me connect the current parts of my life to other, older, and more foundational elements. I'd been a dancer for most of my life and started going back to ballet class after watching them move. Engaging with their lyrics and album arcs requires the kind of textual analysis I once thought would be my career. I've always struggled with languages, but with music I love, what a low-stakes way to build those neural pathways. And a lot of my work is in Asia now after all, so I still need the cultural fluency I'd once thought I'd get by teaching. But instead, it's given to me by Run BTS. More broadly, BTS helps me pay attention to how the things I love interact with the systems that hold them up, enable them, or disadvantage them. I think that's a necessary part of being a whole, contributing person, constantly looking to see and understand the structures that underlie the things we otherwise consume as normal, or as the default setting, identifying where those structures need to change, and working individually and collectively to change them. I think it's the sad part of getting older, making choices about what you hold on to and what you let go. Work in a specialised field means I've left a lot of other interests, personal and professional, behind, including some things for which I have stupidly expensive degrees in. Time is more precious and the stakes in spending it are more heightened. I have the art from Love Yourself Tear tattooed as a reminder that things fall apart. Often and repeatedly, but in doing so they become threads that can sew together new things. They pointed out that this is a metaphor. I know the social aspect of fandom is deeply intrinsic to the fan experience for many, but for me, and more ephemerally, engaging with BTS has become an interior and sustaining space I'm so grateful for. And having this inner world as a kind of sanctuary directs me outward toward the things I need to show up for in daily life. This includes the people I love, places I care about, things I want to see.
Right, so I'm going to read the final message submission that we got. And this is very cute because they wrote in like 2 little paragraphs and it's slightly long. So they started off with, so here's the thing. I honestly don't remember when I went from BTS is just an occasional part of my random K-pop listening due to K-dramas getting me interested in Korean pop and OST music to BTS dominates my listening choices to the point where they're who I fall asleep listening to, typically play in my car and regularly put BTS on at work for everyone to enjoy. And then they said what they can tell us is that it happened in early 2020 and that they're so glad that it did. There's just something about them and about how they invite ARMY to walk with them, how they are constantly learning and growing. And then they went on to say they bring such immense joy into their lives. They help this person who said that they identify as a middle-aged woman living in Adelaide to find light when things are dark, hope when they feel lost, and confidence when they have none. They make me cry, but they also make me laugh. I love them. That was so cute.
That's so
Aw.
cute. That's
That
so
is
cute.
sweet.
I love that one. I love all
It
of
ended
them.
in like such a poetic one. And then
Wow.
also they added
Yeah.
in little brackets as well. Oh, Namjoon a little bit more because he's my bias and the first one whose name I learned first.
Oh, cute. Our president.
What a typical June bias thing to do, right? To put poetry in
Yeah.
submission, like, oh yeah,
Yes,
casually.
That's so Namjoon bias.
that is 100%.
Yeah.
She definitely found the right bias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
wonder if you can guess
yeah.
people's bias by the stories they told. If any of you would like to de-anonymize yourselves and quote retweet our episode and let us know who your bias is, we'd love to know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm curious.
As I previously mentioned, I'm in the future compared to when my lovely co-hosts recorded this episode. I'm sitting at the very end of the Permission to Dance era. 4 nights in Vegas saw the end of a period where many new people were recruited, converted, maybe some other cult sounding word to the wonders of BTS. Personally, I'm not sure they're the words I'd choose, but they are the words that as a fandom we're often labelled with. And I suppose from a media perspective I can understand. We use a lot of words about loyalty and devotion and things that do sound a little bit cult-like, but I think it's a little bit more than that. Throughout this episode, we've presented you with lots of different reasons why they present something deeper than another boy band phase or phenomenon. Not that there is anything wrong with them simply being another boy band. If they were that, that would be fine. I think the majority of our listeners, like ARMY, navigate the world as women, and as women, we're often taught and shown the things that we enjoy are worth less. I don't want to ever make anyone feel like boy bands are silly and frivolous and that BTS are just something so much more than that, because that's just boring, vaguely misogynistic bullshit. Fandom, by nature, inspires loyalty and love, but it's the way that BTS looks after that loyalty and trust that sets them apart from a regular boy band. They inspire us, as ARMY, to do better and to be better, and in a world that is so often harsh and unforgiving, I think there is something a little bit revolutionary about 7 young men from Korea working their asses off to make their fans feel something outside of their own every day. BTS has given me so much in the 2 years that I have been following them. So many friends and new experiences, and also the courage and the fortitude to know that I'll be okay, that I can move ahead, that it's okay to be nostalgic for the past, but to not let the past weigh me down. And I think that that is incredibly important and is something that maybe not every group can give you. That's my 10 cents.
Yeah, those are some really lovely stories. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're
really
cute.
sweet.
What a nice little mini-sode.
Yeah, I'm really glad that people were submitting those, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we got so many. I was
Yes.
like not sure if many people would respond, but we got loads of people coming in with like really cool stories.
Yeah. And like thank you to everybody who submitted and also said that they're enjoying the podcast. That was really sweet. Like,
Yeah, that's so nice. We appreciate that.
We really
Yeah.
appreciate that because it's just like a little fun side project for us, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really nice when people like actually say they're enjoying it, especially when it's people that I don't personally know. I'm just like, oh wow, someone who isn't a friend that I've insisted they must listen to this. So it's good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really nice
Oh,
that people are
nice.
enjoying it.
This has been a nice fun little mini-sode. If you haven't already, we have an episode up right now on BTS. That is episode number 6. So if you want to listen to more of our chatting about BTS, about our own personal introductions to BTS, basically just us sort of gushing about them and how much we love them for about an hour, then that is up on our YouTube and on our SoundCloud. You can also listen to a bit more of us talking about Korean culture in episode 7. And yeah, thank you for listening to Oomf Said.